Morning, another beautiful day in God's kingdom. So, would you like to be rich? That's a bit of an odd question to ask, right? And most people will look at it and think, well, yes, of course, I'd like to be rich. And yes, it is a good thing to want riches. But anyway, let's take a look at something that Jesus says about this in the book of Matthew. And in Matthew chapter 19, we read from verse 16. It says, "And behold, a man came up to him," that is to Jesus, saying, "Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, "Why do you ask me about what is good? There's only one who is good. If you would enter life, keep the commandments." And then he goes on to have this conversation with Jesus. And at the end of the day, he says to Jesus, "All these I have kept. What do I still lack?" And Jesus said to him, "If you want to be perfect, if you would be perfect, go sell what you possess and give to the poor, and you have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me." And when the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. So he enters into this conversation with Jesus, bit of an odd one because he comes to Jesus and says, "Look, I would like to have eternal life. What are the things that I need to do?" And Jesus begins to speak to him and he says, "Well, everything you said I've already done, so I'm good. But I still feel like there's something lacking." And Jesus says to him, "Go, take all the stuff that you have, all your possessions, sell everything, give it to the poor, and then come, follow me." And it's kind of like a curious question because you think to yourself, well, you've done everything. Jesus gives you a list and you tell Jesus, "I've done everything, but still I feel a vacuum. Still I feel like there's something missing." And Jesus then tells him, "Well, what is missing is you don't have a relationship with me. You need to come and learn about me. You need to come and know me more. You need to come and walk intimately with me. Get rid of everything that is a distraction to you. Get rid of all of those things that are holding you down, that are keeping you pinned to a particular place, and come and follow me. Come and spend time with me." And the man went away sorrowful because this was difficult for him to do. And it's interesting because you think about this young man who comes to Jesus. Now, definitely there was a vacuum in his life. He knew that he was doing all that he could in his own power, in his own ability, to please God. And he was doing everything, ticking the boxes, ticking all the boxes, and crossing his T's and dotting his I's. And deep down, something was telling him that there's something more. And then when he comes and he hears what that something more is, he finds that it's too high a price for him to pay. And I want to ask you that question today, just, as you think about it. What are those things that are keeping you bound, that are keeping you distracted, that are keeping you from following God fully, from surrendering your heart completely to the Lord, from handing over the reins of your life to, and putting those reins in the hands of God? What are the things that are holding you back? I can tell you that, hey, until you let go completely and allow God to reign in your life, you will always find yourself looking, for ways to fill that vacuum, and nothing will fill it until you find yourself walking closely with Jesus. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.